The light will go from green to red, no lip, no gap. Most of my machines in here don't have multicolor or AMS capabilities. Today that's changing, thanks to this guy right here. What I've got right here is from a company called Infinity Flow 3D. Essentially what this guy is an automatic filament changer. When you run out of filament in one spool, this machine will automatically switch to the next spool and continue feeding filament, so you don't have to manually do it. Now, this isn't an AMS in the traditional sense that you can do multicolor printing on it, but what it does do is give you the ability to not waste so much filament. For instance, this spool right here has maybe 20 grams of filament left on it, if that. Now, a lot of machines, the Bambu Lab P1P with the AMS specifically, not the AMS Lite, but the regular AMS system, does not like light spools. So you can load this thing up and tell it you want to auto refill. 9 times out of 10, this thing's just gonna flop around or get jammed up because of how light the spool is. Now, you can print the little adapters inside of it and add some weights to it, but that's kind of a pain, right? So when we want to switch from this guy to this guy and just continue printing on, that is where the Infinity Flow 3D system comes in handy. Inside of the box, we have all of our parts, again, 3D printed parts, and they also include a QR code for the setup guide. So we're gonna go ahead and get that guy scanned so we can open up the link and get some instructions going. So these two parts here are what they're calling the side assemblies. We have the S1 itself, a front brace, an Allen key, and a bunch of bolts. They also sent along some adapters for the Bambu Lab A1 and A1 Mini, the Adventure 5M, which is what we're going to use right now, and then a standard Bowden tube adapter for machines like the Plus 4. I'm going to tap onto their setup guide video, go through the process of getting it set up, and we will come back when that is all done. All right, so I've got this thing all assembled. The only thing left to do is this Bowden tube here goes into the back hole over there, and then we have the coupler for the Adventure 5M Pro. There is a power cord with it as well that you have to plug in, obviously, otherwise how would this thing work? Now, this won't be the final home for this, but for the purposes of today's video, that's where it's going to sit. And for the purpose of actually seeing when it does the filament change and how well it does the filament change, I've grabbed what is probably 20 or so grams from this Deeply PLA, and then I've also got about 20-25 grams on this Elegoo gray spool. So you'll be able to see exactly when the filament changes over because it's going to change colors. I'm going to get this guy plugged in, get the rest of those adapters hooked up to here, and we're going to put this guy to use. Now, when they reached out, they asked what kind of spools do you normally use? Typically, I go with the 1 kilogram spools, but I am looking at different options as far as at least the black, white, and gray, because I go through a lot of black filament. So I asked if they'd send over the 3 kilogram version, so that is what we have here. Luckily, the 1 kilogram spools seem to fit just fine on the 3 kilogram version. So depending on where you end up placing this, you may or may not need to cut this tube because I'm not sure exactly where this is going to live. I'm going to leave this. It is worth noting though that these hard bends in the PTFE tube might interfere with how the filament flows into there. We will see, but I just wanted to point that out. So on the back side of the machine, there is a little button there that as you press it, it will feed the filament through into the machine. Well, that finished up successfully. Go ahead and peel this off. So we can take a look at this.
Look at that.
There is no lip, no gap. There wasn't a stop or a pause in between. It just kept feeding that filament, it butts right up against the gray. So as soon as the gray finishes loading through the infinity, it automatically switched to the black to keep it right up close to the gray filament. So when it goes to feed into the machine, there wasn't any issue in terms of not feeding close enough or causing a gap in the layer where it was waiting for the next spool of filament to go. Now, obviously, this is really cool if you decide you want to use a bunch of your old spools or 50 to 100 gram spools for things around the shop. And also if you have spools of the same color that you need to run through, like I tend to. I usually have about 90 to 100 grams of the black left when I'm done doing the dumbbells. So that leaves me with a lot of spools with 90 to 100 grams of filament on them. Now that I've got everything all set up and working and tested out, make sure everything is good to go, I'm going to move the 5M Pro back over to its shelf and get the S1 set up into a more reasonable spot, and then we can cut this long PTFE tube down to a more reasonable size. And Infinity Flow is also working on a filament cutter. They sent me a video to put up on screen just to show you guys what the process looks like. Essentially, all the spools where the filament gets stuck into the end and comes out with a bent end or has tape on it like the Bamboo Lab spools, this will sense tension and cut the end of the filament so nothing gets jammed inside of the S1 unit itself. So that's a really cool idea. I love that they're innovating and constantly improving upon this thing, and they will be sending one of those over, or two of those, I suppose, whenever they are ready. For those of you who already have one of the Infinity Flow machines, they will make that available to you as well. I'm just going to feed the PTFE tube and the power cord down behind here. So as you can see, we've got about a foot and a half of PTFE tube left over here. So we can get that cut and then plugged into the back side of the 5M Pro. Infinity Flow does recommend cutting the PTFE tube to the shortest possible length, just to prevent any sort of friction buildup within the tube. So now you can see we've got the PTFE tube connected here, and that runs all the way up top there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy powered back on, and then we can load up some of the black filament that I have laying around. So I went ahead on Maker World and found this cool little spool design here that fits on an IKEA Scatus board, and I happen to have some Scatus boards that just got in and we're going to get set up in a couple of days, but figured this would be a pretty good example of using up some filament. So this one's going to be about 137 grams. I'm going to send this over to the Adventure 5M Pro. So I've got the spool holder mount printing out right now on the 5M Pro. Unfortunately, I think there's too much filament on this spool over on side B. So to show you the test in real time, I'm going to first insert our second spool into the other side. Light will turn yellow while the side that's printing is green. And I'm just going to clip this. So it should feed all the way through there, and once it gets to the end, back where the splitter is, it should automatically click over to our secondary spool and continue feeding. When that happens, you'll see the left side here, the light will go from green to red, and then on this side it will change to green and continue feeding. Just like that, in real time, super quick. At this point, I'm going to let the machine finish printing out this part, and we can take a look at it after it's done and see if we see any issues with the final print. So we've got our parts from the printer. The only area I see what I'll call gapping is on the sides where we had these little pegs for the Gridfinity board. So I'm just going to take all of the tree support material off of here, and we can take a look at it afterwards. So you can see right there, the only time I've ever seen that happen is when you print at separate layer heights for the supports. So that one is on me, but the rest of the model looks really good. And it slots together really nice. They did say on the Maker World listing for this model, probably best to glue it together so it doesn't just come apart when you put a spool on it. I'm gonna go grab some CA glue, and then we'll put this thing up on the Scatus board behind me and see how it fits. A little drop will do ya. And throw it up onto the Scatus. Pretty cool. So that is the S1 automatic filament changer from Infinity Flow 3D. If you're interested in picking one up for yourself, I have links down in the description below, as well as a $10 off coupon if you use the code MountainMaker at checkout. I want to say a huge thank you again to the guys over at Infinity Flow 3D for not only making this product, but for sending it over here for testing on the channel. It is going to be a huge help in my print farm, and if you think it will be for yours too, again, links are down in the description below. And also, real quick, for those of you who do have the S1 already, they will have availability for that automatic cutter when it does come out. So when it is available, I will link it down in the description below if you're watching this in the future, and I'll be sure to show it off when it comes in. You'll definitely be seeing more of that machine here in the near future on the channel, as well as when I get my 5M in a couple of days. I'd like to get one for that too. For those of you still here at the end of the video, leave me a comment down below that says Infinity, and I will know that you stayed right till the very end. Take care, folks. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll catch you next time.